We've had these old centerline wheels come in for a bit of a brighten up, a bit of a polish. 1995 these things were made. I just love the way these things look, and the design is so simple. 3 pieces, and they're held together with the rivets. You can't take them apart again, which was a bit of a mission when it come to polishing them. But yeah, and this one's a fairly narrow one. It's going on the front wheel of a hot rodded Jeep of all things, which looks terrific. But yeah, quite narrow this one. But take a look at this thing behind, which is the rear wheel. Huge. And the depth of the dish on this, once it's brightened up, gives you some lovely reflections. It's going to look terrific when it's on the car and rolling along. Oh, you know what, even though we couldn't get in there to polish all the way around those rivet heads, and they're very close to the rim in there. Oh, look at that. And one of the amazing things about these old wheels is how light they are. Under 4 kilos. That complete wheel weighs less than the centre of a Lamborghini split rim that we had in here a while ago. And okay, it's fairly narrow, very narrow. Oh, I don't know if that's what, 4 inch, 4.5 inch. I'm quite sure how they measure these when it goes from the outside, which would be 5. Yeah, such a lightweight construction. I think even the centre is a pressed part, it's not cast. If we have a look at the back, I don't know if we can see that. It's quite a thick piece of aluminium, this centre, and it looks like there's marks there from the forming. You get a kind of orange peel effect. So yeah, a nice thick chunky piece of sheet aluminium formed into a slight dish. A bit more of a forming going on here where it's bolted to the axle. And then the rims are spun aluminium. What is that? Thickness of that rim. And riveted together. And this is actually recessed into the centre. The centre must have been turned. Slight recess, so this back rim is almost flush. But yeah, 4 kilos for a complete wheel. It is a racing wheel. I'm sure that you really, oh, it's you can see the seal, bit of silicone through the middle to make sure it doesn't leak out. Centerline Racing, made in USA. Santa Fe Springs, California. About 4.2 millimeters thickness. Yeah, and these wheels are still here because they want the backs polished. Ooh. They are visible on the car, so hence why it's going to be worth doing. And here's the rear wheel on the scale. Look how wide that is. The car that it's going on was built as a dragster once upon a time, so the back tyres are ridiculously wide. Let's see if you can measure this. Across the outside of the rim, that's 15 inches. I suppose that's 14 inches between the rims. So yeah, enormously wide wheel, and yet it only weighs 6.8 kilos. That's amazing compared to the modern ones we looked at, which were 14 kilos. Yeah, this is definitely the way to make a lightweight wheel. You can see the spinning lines on this. There's the join there. So this is one piece. It's been done like an enormous saucepan. Really, really deep dish on that. Let's see how deep that dish is. Spinning marks on it. Bit of corrosion visible in this, but this is a 25-year-old wheel, and it didn't look like there's any protective finish on this. It's not anodized as far as I can tell. No paint or lacquer or anything. Let's see if this is any thicker. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that was 5 millimeters thick. I don't know if they would have had millimeters when this in the States when this was made 25 years ago. 3/16 maybe. Yeah, lovely piece of work. Such a difference to the mass-produced cast ones that they do these days. I think these are 15-inch diameter, these wheels, so there's a difference. It was about as big as they used to go back in those days. The modern ones I was talking about, which weigh 14 kilos, are actually 22-inch diameter. But stupid things compared to this piece of art.